Confidence is not loud, it is silence. It is aura radiating from you without you having to even speak words out of your mouth. People already know you're confident the minute you walk into the room because you radiate that kind of energy that attracts people, that is charismatic. That is what makes you confident. You don't even have to speak words out of your mouth. So we gotta push aside trying to be the loudest person in the room or trying to be the funniest person in the room. This is not what confidence is. Confidence is being so self-aware and so reliable and standing on business. Okay, standing on business. You don't have to speak words. That's how the aura you have, it just radiates in the room, and people want to be around you because of how you are as a person, how charismatic you are. That attracts people. That makes you more magnetic. That is my first point. In order to even become like that, you gotta train your mind that you are reliable. This is something that I've been working on. Okay, this is a journey with yourself. Confidence is a journey within. It's not something from without. It's not something from outside perspective. It's something that you gotta work on yourself. Until you've worked on yourself, then only you will realize that, damn, I'm actually confident. And you don't even have to say that because other people will be coming up to you and asking you, how are you so confident? And the bottom line is that you've trained your mind to become this reliable person that makes trustworthy decisions, who stands on business. It's like when you get yourself in a relationship, you have a whole list of standards, and that is you holding people accountable. If they can't meet your standards, you remove them. You are confident enough to do that because you don't feel the need to have anyone to be in your life that is going to bring down your energy, that's going to bring down your aura or bring down your standards and isn't meeting your standards. You don't want that. That's how confident you are, because you're not afraid of being alone, because you realize that being alone is just being alone. It's not being lonely. You've allowed yourself to become so reliable to the point where you can get your goals done without you having to feel the need that, oh, I'm feeling tired or whatever, because you'll still get them done, because that's how reliable you've become. That's what causes people to become confident. And this is something I've been working on myself, is that showing up 1% better every single day. And this is something that I was speaking about in my previous conversation from last week. It's so undermined. Even when you're like applying to a new job, or when you are in a probation period, like, this is something that I've experienced so much. If a job's not for me, simply because of how the hierarchical people in the higher positions, who are career directors, who are seniors, who could be your managers, whatever, I've realized that if I feel like they're speaking to me in a way that's undermining, I will speak up. I will make sure that there's a resolution that can be found. And if there isn't a resolution that can't be found, which more time a lot of companies don't even do, because they just start to perceive you. This is one thing I hate it when 9 to 5 start perceiving you in a negative way, where they think that you are this person that doesn't want to get the work done, or is complaining and isn't meeting the company's values, when really it's the company that isn't even meeting their values, isn't even holding up accountable for their values, because they say that they're XYZ and they value their employees in XYZ, but then you're getting treated in a way where you're being undermined, or spoken in a way where you're being undermined, being belittled, or being spoken to an aggressive way, and aren't even being heard, and you're being dismissed. Like, that's what I absolutely hate. But if you are a confident person, you're going to stand on business. You're not going to be afraid, and please don't be afraid. Please don't. If you are going through a situation like that, don't be afraid to speak up. I understand that you have bills to pay and XYZ, but don't allow yourself to be stuck in a place where it's toxic for you. Because you gotta understand that if you're someone who's so confident, you know that you have the ability to get the next job just like that. And I understand the job market is very difficult, but this is something that I've been experiencing myself, where like, if I'm being treated in a specific way and things haven't been sorted out, and it's a very toxic environment, and it's really genuinely draining me and falling into my personal life, I will leave, simply because I know that I can get a job just like that in a different place that will respect me, because I know my values and I know what I can bring to the table, and I know that if I can see myself growing there, I will leave. And that's something that makes people, that's something that makes you realize that you actually are confident, because you're confident within. You know your values, you're confident with your strengths and your skills, and there is nothing else and there is no one else that you can allow to undermine you or dictate how you should and how you shouldn't feel. So therefore you're able to make those trustworthy decisions when it comes to jobs, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to friendships as well, because you know if people aren't meeting those standards, you can cut them, because you are that confident. You're that confident in the life that you're creating for yourself and the people that you surround yourself with, because you are very specific, and that is a good thing to be. I feel like things that have a lot, for me, becoming reliable is a journey that I'm really working on, and one thing that really helps me is taking the first step. I call it the first step rule. It's like, okay, for example, in order for me to go to the gym, right, I'm gonna leave my clothes outside the night before, so I know that I am going to the gym. Like, that's on the agenda and I need to get that done. And it allows you to then, that's the first step, by the way, putting your clothes out, because you're putting on an attire. You're putting on the attire that's gonna get things done that's best for you, even when you don't feel like it. But naturally, because you've taken that first step, your brain is already ready and prepared for the day that's about to come, which is gonna have all the things that you need to get done. Also, with the first step rule, one thing I have realized is doing the hardest thing first. The hardest thing first. So it could be like, say on a Sunday, I don't know, you want to go to the gym. Okay, that might be the hardest thing for you to do, because you got to step outside of your house, you got to put your attire on, and you got to pick up weights and everything else. But if you actually get that done first, trust and believe that the rest of your day is going to be productive, because of how you got rid of the first hardest thing out of the way, and now everything else that is on your agenda feels easy, and you get it done. Your brain is like, okay, you know what, if I could get the hardest thing done, then I can do this, wash some dishes or cook a meal, whatever it is that you need to do, like change your bedding. I don't know what else it could be on your agenda, but, or write like 100 pages, or not 100 pages, sorry, but write like 1,000 words today. Like, you can get that done because you've done everything else that was harder than any of those before. Another thing that I have realized is the whole quote about knowledge is power. I'm sorry, it's missing so much more context. Knowledge is not power until it is applied. There's so many of us who are consuming more than actually applying, and I'm one of them. Like doom scrolling or planning. I love planning because it makes me feel like I'm being so productive, but really and realistically is that I've wasted like 4 hours just planning, and I only spent like 1 hour of applying. But in that 1 hour, more time, it doesn't even get to the hour because I spent so much time planning. I'm like, oh, I need a whole day to plan, and the next day I'll do it. But the next day I didn't do it because, one, I've just procrastinated for no reason, and two, I've not trained my mind to actually be able to apply the knowledge, if that makes sense. So you gotta start seeing things in that way and start realizing that, damn, like, all this knowledge that I have, I'm actually just procrastinating. All these videos that I'm consuming, watching about self-development, all the books that I'm reading, all the podcasts I'm listening to, and I'm being in that moment saying, yeah, yes, I'm gonna do that, and I'm talking to my friends about it, but then I don't even get it done. Like, that just, one, that makes you unreliable because you can't even like apply words to your, you can't even apply actions to your words. And also that just sort of becomes a ripple effect. Like, not only is it affecting you, but it starts to affect your other relationships, like how you show up for your friends on time in your relationship, how you meet your partner's needs, because you're so used to becoming such an unreliable person where you can't even apply the knowledge or the things that you said you're going to do, and you can't even do that for yourself. How are you expecting to do that in a different relationship, in a friendship? Like, how are you able to do that for somebody else if you can't even do it for yourself? Another thing that's helped me become more confident, from being someone who was so shy, who didn't even like know how to converse with people, who didn't like people, and I didn't even want to meet new people because I was just so shy. Couldn't even hold a conversation. It was so weird. Versus the person that I became like a couple years ago. This person I became a couple of years ago started to experiment with things that she actually loved. Things that I had, like this top, for example, like makes me feel confident because it suits my skin tone. It really flatters my body, for example. it's things like these small little details that make you feel confident. And when you're stepping outside of your house in an outfit, in your confident coat, that's when you're gonna start to realize that you're acting like a main character for yourself. Okay, you've tapped into this character that loves talking to people, who is confident, who is radiating this feminine energy that she loves. You're going to be magnetic simply because of the outfits you're wearing. And wearing my best fits when I'm going out with my friends and everything has made me realize that it actually opens doors to new opportunities that you never ever thought you would be able to even tap into. I remember when I was working, I was like a creative, and I was just being an extra on set, modeling, and like the whole of summer, like a couple years ago. And this is when I was also making music. I was writing, songwriting, and I went out in my best fit ever, and I met people who are in the music industry, and I didn't even realize how many monthly listens they had. I didn't even realize, like, and they were like opening doors and opportunities to get like invites where I will be able to meet other artists like Big Sean, for example, or like Bryson Tiller, like all these artists that are in the R&B field. But I didn't realize, and I wouldn't have able to attract those kind of network of people had I not been wearing a fit that made me feel confident, if that makes sense. So don't be afraid to experiment, but also don't fall into these societal expectations. Create your own standards, and that means creating your own fits and not following what the trend is, or what the next trend is, or whatever is on Pinterest. Create your own Pinterest board, yes, that has inspirations of fits and statement pieces that you like and you want to experiment with, but don't fall into trends. Don't try to be somebody else because you're not that person, and that person radiates that kind of energy because they've created that confident quote for themselves. You now need to create and cultivate that for yourself, and then only you will feel confident from within, because you're not trying to be somebody else, if that makes sense. Doesn't that make sense? Does that make sense? That also means with makeup as well. Don't be afraid to experiment. Like literally for Christmas, I've asked for eyeshadow that has like shades of pink and purple, because I want to experiment. I want to have fun, you know. I want to understand like what colors suit me. Same with a color palette. Like oh my days, do this on ChatGPT. Like don't go ahead and spend like so much money with you know, the color theory, the colors that suit your skin tone. I did that with ChatGPT. I was not gonna spend all that money unless I go to South Korea. Then only I would do it, because it's one, the currency exchange is different, it's gonna be cheaper for me, but also I think they go more in advance, like more in depth. But I did like a basic one with ChatGPT where I sent ChatGPT I think I sent either my face or the color of my skin, like a picture of it with good natural lighting, and I said like, you know, can you help me understand what colors will suit me and will help with my complexions, and it gave me like a whole palette of different colors that would suit me. Like for example, a dark, like a royal blue, it would suit me, but at the same time it wouldn't, because it will bring out like darker circles or more shadows to my skin. But some, like a color like this, which is like a lime olivey kind of color, brings up my complexion. It like suits me so much, especially when I am tanned. Sorry, I'm getting excited right now. Or like red, like a specific shade of red, like not just any red. Like I don't think, like a cherry red, I don't think it would suit me, but like a burgundy red would. That's more on like a richer red side. That will bring out my complexion and suits me so much, like so much. So these colors genuinely play a role. Like don't stick to the basics, like the boring black and white or creams or all that stuff. Like that's nice. I feel like that is genuinely nice. I was in that phase where I was like wearing earth tones and neutrals, but there comes a point where you realize that you really need to tap into these colors that you're missing out on, because these colors really radiate. They radiate specific kind of energies in a room. There's genuinely there's actually meanings behind each color and what each color means and what it symbolizes, and it does work. I feel like this color is more fun and playful, and I'm in general, I'm a very playful person, and this radiates that, you know. I'm actually so cringe, it's not even cool. This is gonna be cut out. Like, I think I'm gonna cut this out. Anyways, placing yourself, what I was talking about before, where you know you wear your confident coat and you put yourself in situations. Yes, put yourself in situations in different scenarios, because think of it like this. You know the movie Monsters Inc. with all the different doors? Every door you open and you enter a new room, and the more doors you open, the more you're becoming confident, because the next time you open that door you already know and understand the situation and the scenario, because you've already done it. You already played your character in that role, and you know how to navigate, and it's something that your brain is already used to and is comfortable with. So the more doors you open, the more you become confident. Say for example, if you've never been on a group holiday, or actually no, that's a silly example, ignore that. I love going dance. I recently started going to dance because I want to meet other creatives. A lot of creatives go to dance studios, and also I just want to get my body moving and have that cardio in. Going the first time with my friend was so fun, and I felt so confident enough to go the second time by myself, then the third and the fourth time. So it becomes a thing where like you start getting used to it, and you start meeting new people, and you realize that these people are actually opening doors to new things. Like I said, there's a lot of creatives that go to dance studios, so I was able to go to a lot of different events that are fashion weeks and meet models, for example, because for some reason there's loads of models that do dance, and also collaborate with TikTokers. It's such a cool space to be in. But not only that, like there's other things like doing pottery, doing archery, going to the gym. Like you can meet so many people and network with so many people and realize that everybody has so many different stories. Going to Bible study, I've met so many people through Bible study because I am in my own journey, in my own spiritual journey, in my faith with God, and being able to listen and hear on other people's thoughts and understanding when it comes to the Bible is something that I absolutely love, and it's making me feel more confident when I'm reading my Bible, because I'm reading it in so many different perspectives that really allows you to dissect each scripture. So I highly recommend doing that. And because you're placing yourself in so many different situations, you start to analyze and identify your strengths and your weaknesses. Strengths and weaknesses doesn't solely lie in like a workspace. No, you gotta also do that with yourself. Like, what are your strengths? Like, what are you actually good at? Are you good at listening to people? Are you good at holding conversations? Are you good at giving a lot of words of wisdom? Like, what are you actually good at? Write it down. Don't be afraid to write things down that you're good at, because it's good to take these things out of your mind and see them in front of you, and that genuinely makes you more confident within yourself. And also then you start to realize, okay, you know what, I feel like I'm not someone who's good at listening because I'm always interrupting conversations. Because you've written it down and you can see it right in front of you, you are able to then identify that and then able to then work on that. Like, okay, so then how can I actually improve on actually being a better listener without interrupting? So there's things, when you start to realize and really dissect things that you're good at and things that you can improve on, and don't perceive the things as weaknesses. Perceive it as, how can I become better? Not a weakness. It's not a weakness, because you and I both know you're going to work on it and you want to become better, and we're here to become better versions of ourselves, and there is no weaknesses within us. That's what we need to accept. And last but not least, mirror talking actually works. I'm not gonna lie, there's so many days where I haven't done this, but the days when I have done this, especially when I'm stepping outside and I'm feeling a bit nervous or like a bit anxious or whatever it is, or overwhelmed or overstimulated, I go to the mirror and I start talking to myself. I literally say, Jada, you are literally a confident woman. You radiate in any room you walk into. You're charismatic. You're a great listener. You don't interrupt. People love coming up to you and talking about XYZ they're going through, and you're able to give such great advice. Like, whatever it is, you're bubbly, you're friendly, you're playful, you're youthful. Anything that you want to say, you say it in front of the mirror, and it boosts your mind. Like, it really speaks to your subconscious mind, and you start acting in a way where you're like, damn, I'm really acting like this. But you don't realize that in the moment. You realize that afterwards, and you realize that I actually had a great day, you know? Anyways, I love you, and I hope this helped you.